Hello everybody. So somebody asked me if I could do another gearing guide, and what I discovered was that they wanted to gear as a tank without actually tanking. And now I'm going to go through really how to tank, and how to learn how to tank, and how to get there, how to get the gear, how to do all of these things, because a lot of people are terrified of tanking. Because, when you're a damage dealer, if your damage sucks, the group can probably get through. Everyone's going to be kind of annoyed at it taking so long, but odds are you can get through okay. But if someone like the healer cannot heal, everyone's going to die, and they're all going to hate the healer. Same thing goes for the tank, and it's not nice. It sucks. So how do we prepare ourselves to try and stop that from happening? Now, another thing I just want to say quickly is you are going to die. It's going to happen. Sometimes it's your fault, sometimes it's someone else's fault. Death is inevitable, especially in WoW. You think that tanks magically don't die? I don't care if you're in Paragon, sometimes you're going to wipe on dungeon trash. It happens. Sometimes somebody just does the wrong damn thing and kills everybody. The important thing is just to learn from it and go back again. If you stop trying to learn how to tank, then guess what? You're never going to learn how to tank. So, start learning how to tank and just stick with it until you're a bloody damn good tank. And now let's go through some things. Now I'm not going to go over, how to gear your tank, how to glyph, how to gem, how to enchant, how to do whatever. This isn't that kind of guide. If you want to do that, I've put links to sites that will explain such things for you in the description of this video, because that stuff is really important. I'm not downplaying the importance of that. It's important that you are glyphed, it's important that you're gemmed, it's important that you're enchanted, it's important that you have everything set up before you get into the dungeon, the raid, the whatever it is that you're tanking. It's important that you've got all your stuff in sorted, but I'm not going through that because this isn't a specific video. This isn't a tanking guide for druids. It's not a tanking guide for death knights. It's a tanking guide for whatever the hell you are. I don't care if you tank as a gnome warlock. Okay, well actually I do. Don't tank as a gnome warlock, please. Just don't. Or if you do, please upload it to YouTube, and I want to see that stuff because it was going to be entertaining. But that's not the point. It's not a specific guide. This is a very, very general guide talking about how to tank, not how to tank as a. It's how to tank. So here I am. I'm on my Guardian Druid, and that's basically that. My gear is terrible. I can still tank. Well, it's not terrible for a heroic, but that's not the point. So basically, how do you first start learning how to tank? Because it can be quite an insurmountable task. Now, there are several ways to kind of get yourself going into this. You've got the one approach, which is to just dive right in, let's queue for a heroic instantly, barely even know what our taunt is, but hey, let's queue for a heroic and say that we're gonna go hold aggro and go and do some dungeons. There's that approach. That's the deep end approach. That's the approach I always do, and I can't help it. It's just the way I learn. But that's not the approach that's the best idea, and it's not the approach that people feel comfortable with. It's very, very uncomfortable to do that. My ultimate suggestion is if you want to learn how to tank, either you can learn how to tank and you can tank dungeons while leveling. Okay, that's a really nice option, because you'll have fewer spells, you'll get to learn things in a much easier environment, or if you want to do it really, really easily, level up to level 90, get semi-geared, okay, and then go and do some normal dungeons. Just normal dungeons, not heroics. It's going to be very, very easy for you to hold aggro as a level 90. It's going to be very, very easy for you to not die as a level 90 in a lower level dungeon. In like a level, like Jade, or whatever that, Jade Temple of the Jade Serpent, I think it is. If you do that on normal mode as a level 90 tank, odds are everyone's going to love you because you are going to be doing more DPS than all of the DPS combined. No one can pull aggro off of you. They're all going to love you, and it's going to give you the confidence, and it's going to give you kind of like a little bit of time to practice while still having other people around you. And the importance of tanking is being able to tank inside of a group. Going and doing quest mobs, yeah, sure, you can do that, but it's not really going to help you so much as it is if you are sitting there with other people, you have a healer, you're in the group environment actually tanking. So, if you're really, really scared of it, go ahead, do some normals. Do a couple of normals. If those are going fine, if you have the gear, go into a heroic. Go into a heroic, okay? Don't go and jump into a heroic if you're in all intellect gear, because that is not going to end well. It's not even going to start well. So don't do it. Be prepared before you go in. And that's, that's basically how you learn to tank. You go in and you jump right in, and that's how you do it. Now, this video I'm going to continue talking about a few things, but bear in mind I'm also going to do kind of like a sequel to this video where I will be going through a heroic dungeon, and I'll be talking through my decision making, why it is that I'm doing this random stuff. Why am I using a cooldown? Why am I doing that? I'll be going through all of that in another video. Okay, and then of course the other thing is dealing with other people. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're tanking, whether you're damage dealing, or whether you're just plain AFK. People are going to be mean to you. Not always. Most people are actually decent folk just out here to have a good time. This is a game. They play in their spare time. Some people are just total prats. And with those people, the best idea is to just pretty much ignore them. There's no point getting into a giant argument with the guy. Either you leave the group, or you kick him, or you just pretend he doesn't exist. If he's your healer and he's folding his arms going, "You're a tank, you're a death knight, you can heal yourself, I should have to go AFK." Well, screw him. Go AFK yourself, or leave the group, or kick him. Because, you know what, if your healer's throwing a hissy fit and he doesn't want to heal, then what is he there for? Why did he queue his healer? Okay, feel free to leave. If you're not enjoying it, feel free to leave. You can queue up. You go get some guildies, because pugs can be fools sometimes. Go and get some guildies, have some fun like that. Odds are, though, don't be afraid of pugs. Most of them are really decent folk. They really are. In fact, my friend of mine was just telling me earlier today how he queued into LFR mistakenly as healer while in DPS spec, and he apologized to everyone saying, "I'm sorry." And you know what? People go, "Oh, you know what? Hey, this guy's not actually just trying to skip the queue. He's not being a prick. It's fine. You know what? He can go DPS, and one of us will go healers, and everything works out fine." Why? Because most people are genuinely nice if you're genuinely nice to them. Not all of them, but most people. It just works out that way. Some people are total prats, and you just move on, leave the group, get a different group, whatever it is that you need to do to avoid those people. But in general, you should be fine. Another thing with avoiding those people is remember that some of the people being mean to you are probably being mean to you because they don't know where you're coming from. If you first jump into the group and you've just popped into Temple of the Jade Serpent heroic mode and you're going, "Look, I'm a new tank, so please take it easy on me. I'm just learning this, and I'm going to give it my best go, but sometimes I might lose aggro and whatnot." But generally, you don't have to go into such an in-depth explanation. Just go, "Hi, I'm a new tank, please take it easy on me," or "Please bear with me." And if you're a Guardian Druid, some of them might even laugh at the pun. And that's basically it. Explain where you're coming from to people. You'd be surprised at how forgiving they can be if they understand that you're a new tank and you're trying to learn and you're trying your best to hold aggro and to do things correctly. Okay, people can be really, really nice. And of course, there's the old wonderful thing of what do you do when other people are pulling? Well, you've got several attitudes. One is, well, if they pull it, I'll just go and pick up aggro and deal with it anyway. I can't stand the drama. The other one is, "Hey, you pulled it. Great, you must be the tank. I'll go AFK then, because there's no need for me to be here, and you can tank it. How's that sound?" And usually, if I'm in that kind of mood, I'll wait for that particular person to die and then run in and rescue everyone else, because the person who pulls, I'm fine with them dying, but I'm not okay with everyone else in the group dying because of their foolishness or their impatience. Okay, so I'm fine with the guy who screwed up dying, but I'm not okay with everyone else who just try to rescue that guy dying. So I'll come to the rescue of the other 4 people who didn't pull. Or the other 3 people, seeing as if I didn't pull, yeah, whatever. The other 3 people, okay. And, yeah. So, tanking. And make sure you got your reforges, your gems, and chants sorted before going into any of these dungeons. I can't tell you how many people have gone, "Hey look, I'm the tank," and they're in the Burning Crusade gems. Please, I can't stress it enough. Check out those sites in the description. Check out Icy Veins. Check out Noxic. Gem correctly. Get some decent gear. Do things properly. People aren't going to be very respectful to you if they see that you're gemmed with the Burning Crusade Intellect gems, because you know what? They're going to say, "Hey, this guy hasn't even made an effort. He's not even trying." When you go in there saying, "I'm a new tank," you need to be prepared as a tank. Not, I don't even know what to call it. You have to do your research. You have to get things sorted before jumping in and wasting the time of 4 other people. Know your tactics. If you need to know tactics for a dungeon, go and look it up. I have videos on that stuff. Icy Veins has tons of text on all of the dungeons. You can queue specifically for a dungeon after reading the tactics. Look at this. Dungeon Finder. Specific dungeons. Select a dungeon. Pick one. Pick two. Pick the ones that you know how to tank if you're really, really scared of it. Go ahead, pick them. Pick a normal. Mists of Pandaria normal, yeah, it's good. Go for that. Mists of Pandaria heroic. You're feeling a bit ballsier. Good. Go for it. There's no need to go and learn the tactics of every single dungeon right off the bat. Go and learn Stormstout Brewery and go and tank that. Go and tank that. The other thing is to get an add-on called Tidy Plates. Why are we going to want Tidy Plates? I will explain that when I'm tanking. I'll explain what it does. Basically, you see these bars here, with these little, I don't know what you call them, these things, that the health bars hovering above these guys. It puts a little slider above them, so you can see what your aggro is. I can see on a mob that I'm not targeting whether I have aggro on it or not. And it has got to be, if I was going to pick one single add-on to use as a tank, that would be the add-on. It's the most amazing, mind-blowing add-on. When I found it, my brain wanted to explode with happiness because it's so good. It's so useful. Go and get that add-on. I'll put the link in the description. It's amazing. Get that add-on before you start tanking. It will save you so much trouble. Really, it's just so good because it's hard to see. You know, when you've got this massive group of things standing on top of you, it's hard to see whether you have aggro on them or not. Get that add-on, and it'll make it a lot easier. And then you can select the guy you don't have aggro on and just give it a quick taunt and all that stuff. The other thing is key binding. You should do it at some stage. It's not necessary for starting tanking. I'm not going to go and say, look, you have to keybind. If you are happy playing your game as a clicker, then go and do that. It's fine. You don't have to keybind tank unless you're trying to get into Paragon, okay, or some other raiding guild. If you just want to go and tank some heroics, feel free to move around with W, A, S, and D and click the buttons. Go for it. Whatever makes you happy. Though, keybinding, I would say, makes it a lot easier. Why? Because I can select a mob while hitting things and pressing buttons and moving at the same time, and I am lagging and making things not go correctly, and it's easier for me to press buttons and do multiple things, and I will do them faster simply because I am keybound. Because of course, the age-old reason why, because instead of having to click on this side of my action bar and then move all the way across, I can simply press one button and then the next button in a split second later. Much, much easier. Much, much easier. And also it'll probably save you from getting carpal tunnel in your mouse hand or something. Yeah, instead you'll get it in your keyboard hand. You know, it'll make things easier that way. You'll have them split. Alrighty, so we've talked about all of a whole bunch of stuff for tanking. It's not all of it. I won't claim that that is everything you need to know, because it isn't. But it's quite a lot to know for starting tanking. And now we will be going into a dungeon in the next video and tanking the dungeon, and I will be going through all my thoughts, what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, trying to keep it as not class specific as possible so that anyone tanking with any class can learn something from it, and that's the general idea. Anyway, thank you for watching this particular video. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more. And of course, I will be going on to do the next video now, so cheerio.